but the Saints saying they're going to use Taysom Hill primarily at tight end. All right, you see the fantasy value in that, and how good is this for Jameis Winston's stock, Reid?
I'm very interested to see what Pearce's response to this is going to be of a guy who probably shouldn't have been playing quarterback to begin with. Now it's tight. But going to my point, look, I always think a guy like him is going to have Taysom Hill's going to have value as a fantasy entity, right? As a fantasy investment, maybe at the end of your bench, because look at what he's done. I know Sean Payton is not there anymore, and he loved a guy like what he can do, right? And his type of player. But look who Hill has in front of him. It's Jameis Winston, Ian Book, and Andy Dalton. And I think Blake Bortles, the whispers of the Bort coin, are also in New Orleans. That's the 4 quarterbacks, right, that are ahead of Taysom Hill. I'm pretty sure that if any one of those players either doesn't make the squad, gets hurt, Taysom Hill is going to be in the back of Dennis Allen's mind of, we were 7-2 when Taysom Hill was a starter at quarterback. Right? Wins and losses. That's all these coaches talk about. It doesn't matter what the stats are. It's wins and losses. But for a fantasy purpose, we love the stats. He threw 4 interceptions against Dallas last year and had 27 DK fantasy points. He had 0 touchdowns throwing and 2 touchdowns on the ground the week after and went 26 DK fantasy points. He should always have a spot at the end of your bench for a season long. For DFS, you can't really predict it, so it's a moot point. But for season long, put him at the end of your bench because at some point, Taysom Hill is going to be in that conversation again.
All right, Pearce, why make this move, and what's the fantasy impact of it?
Yeah, I'm with Reid. I think ultimately when things shake out, he's going to end up playing quarterback. That's his strength, quarterback, receiver, running back. He's a jack of all trades, kind of like myself and Reid. Reid's an NFL expert, golf expert, and a surfing expert. Now, if Reid just focused on surfing, I don't think it'd work out for him. But because he's a jack of all trades, that's where his value is. It's the same thing with Taysom Hill. That's what works for him. You can use him in a lot of different options. We saw Tebow try to make this move late in his career. It didn't work. Maybe if Tebow would have done it early on, it would have worked.
Yes.
Hill's 31 years old. He's pretty, long in the teeth as well. So I don't know if he's going to be able to make this. We never really talk about how good of a route runner he is or a pass blocker he is. He never really was a receiver all that much. Now he's only going to catch passes. I don't see this working. Keep using him in the way that he was. Some of those games last season, he was banged up. He also didn't have anybody to pass to. He threw all those picks against Dallas. Dallas was known for interceptions. He's going to work his way back into the mix, whether it's based on his own merit or by Winston just being pure Winston. So don't give up on it just yet.